Today on Minnesota and Company, creating the right building blocks for anyone to learn more easily. LearningRx goes beyond traditional tutoring and instead focuses on boosting memory, lengthening attention spans, and reasoning skills. Joining us now with their success story are Toren and Thea Kelly, along with Richard Frieder from LearningRx. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about LearningRx. What makes it different than traditional tutoring, Richard?
Yeah, great question, Jessica. So LearningRx is different because the typical strategy, if there's any kind of an academic struggle, is tutoring, right? So more academic content. So LearningRx is actually a cognitive skills training center. So what that means is we're really more focused on getting to the root cause of a learning struggle versus tutoring. Things like that can help, but often you're more treating the symptom and never getting at, well, why is a child struggling in the first place? And so, just so like you shared, we work on skills like attention, memory, processing, reasoning, and really unlock attention skills, reading skills, executive function, those types of skills to help kids really excel in school and get past, ideally get past the struggles that they're experiencing.
So let's get into Toren's story. Thea, thank you for joining us today. Can you tell us what you were experiencing with Toren at school before you went to LearningRx?
Yeah, of course. Right away in preschool, they noticed that he was extremely talented, gifted in emotional social, but lacked a little bit in his academics. He was just behind on reading and a few things, and so we looked into tutoring, we looked into all kinds of options for him, but that was the path.
So what made you choose LearningRx in the end then?
Right, so like Rich said, everything that we had tried up to that point dealt with the symptoms. They never really dealt with the root cause. LearningRx was something that was recommended by a family friend, and it did wonders for Toren. Built his confidence and dealt with the root problem. He learned to memorize, got all the tools that he needed to be successful, not only in school, but outside academics, extracurriculars. And
now, Toren, you are skipping school today, right?
Yeah.
So tell us what your experience was like at LearningRx, like when you got started and how it's helped you.
Well, I mean, I felt like right away, within like the first 2 weeks, it kind of flipped the switch, and I felt like my everyday life just more focus, and I felt like I could do stuff so much easier, and in sports also. So.
I love that. So it's sort of translated to other things that you're doing in your life, other interests aside from school too.
Yep.
What's your favorite subject in school right now?
Probably math. Like, my math teacher's pretty sweet. So.
That's awesome. Do you want to give him a shout out?
Yeah. Mr. Rumsa.
I love that. Thea, what would you say to a parent that's trying to figure out what they should do?
Yeah, I would say keep advocating for your kid. Keep looking into options. There's so many things out there. LearningRx was great for Toren, helped him build strategies and tools. But you know, the path was long, and to get there, we just had to keep advocating for our kid and searching out options.
Now, Rich, we have about 30 seconds, but do you want to tell people what they can expect when they come in? I know it's not a lot of time.
Yeah, no. So the first step, Jessica, is to schedule an initial assessment. So the assessment will identify, if your child is struggling, it will identify the root cause, which is half the battle. So that is actually only $75. It's usually about $200, and that's a KARE11 special. So that also includes a follow-up consultation where we'll meet with you. And our goal is that you leave that meeting really knowing why your child is struggling, and then have a path to improve skills going forward.
Well, let's tell everyone about that special. Thank you so much for coming in today. Right now, Minnesota and Company viewers can get a special discount on an initial assessment for $75. LearningRx has 7 Twin Cities locations. For more information, call 952-949-6900 or visit learningrx.com. LearningRx sponsored today's segment.